Welcome to an all new episode of Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue with Randy and Junior Salinas. The show starts now. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to an all new episode 67 of Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy, of course, joined by my ugly brother Junior. We got a good fun episode for you. In case you didn't know, I won't talk about it towards the end, but in case you didn't know, for all those haters out there, your Texas Rangers are World Series champs. Yep, uh, I did say that correctly. We were World Series champs. Not only did they knock off the Houston Astros, but they beat the Diamondbacks in the Game 5 to win it all. So cheers to y'all. Let's see if we can go back to back. But hey, congrats to the state of Texas going 2 years in a row. It stays here in Texas.
There
But
you go.
let's get this show started. What you got?
Hey, how's it going? Welcome in. It's been a little bit as things have gotten a little interesting and crazy for us. We are hopping back into the thing. Of course, if you want to join the show, we always just hit us up and let us know, and you can't come join the podcast. For it, we're going to be changing the format here a little bit, so bear with us as we go through some changes, some wholesale changes to better the podcast and better the experience. But he is right. The Texas Rangers are the world champs. Caught me off guard, no doubt about it. Didn't think they were this close to doing it. I hope it's not like a Dallas Stars type of deal where they won it one year and then could never get back, or the Mavericks. Hopefully they can make a good run of it next year, but we'll see. But let's get into it. It's time for the small business shout out. One of our favorite things to do other than cook food. My small business shout out with recent events of Veterans Day just coming through is Veteran Garage Door DFW. Actually, did have somebody recently just go and need it for them. Neighbor down the street was kind of upset. I was outside. I heard him yelling and recommended it, and they came the other day to fix it, and they got it all squared away. We'll probably be calling them for a tune-up on our garage door. They are great. They are honest. They are open. They answer the phone, which is the big thing. And then the guy coming is always respectful and always courteous for it. He will explain things. If you don't know, just ask him that question and he will let you know. But they are awesome. Go check them out. Veteran Garage Door DFW. You can catch them on Facebook, and of course through their website. Just Google Veteran Garage Door DFW and give them a call. What do you got?
I got my small business shout out is going to be Papa Joe's Barbecue Pro Shop in Red Oak, Texas. Brand new shop opening up this weekend. I believe on the 18th, they're having the grand opening. So you check them out in Red Oak. That is 2520 Ovilla Road, Suite 100. Again, that is Papa Joe's Barbecue Pro Shop. Be sure to hit up Joe and Leslie Tucker. They got some amazing products in there, and they just stocked our products in there. So they do have our original barbecue sauce, spicy peach, cowabunga, ribdemption, and side chick with, and then of course some pork rub as well. So be sure to go in and check it out if you're a comp cook backyard looking to try something new. That is a place to go. They have Texas oil dust, Lucky Charm. They're going to get some of that Texas rib grind from Bill Purvis, Cosmos, Blues Hogs, you name it, they got it. There's something that you're missing, definitely hit them up. I believe you can also order online at papajoesbarbecueproshop.com. So be sure to check them out. That is what I've got. Uh, and then, of course, diving right into it, a little certain somebody had a birthday party over the course of our away. She turned 3 years old. That is Eden Marie Salinas. So happy late birthday to her. We've been busy, but let's talk about those hamburgers that you cooked up. Let's talk about it. How was it?
Them hamburgers were good. We had them basically all week. We we the thing with us is we invited a lot of people, and of course, a lot of people don't show up, so you're stuck with those leftovers on it. But did a phenomenal job. I cooked. I did the grilling. Randy did the preparing. How did you prepare
Uh, Basically, all I did was just take some that big 10-pound package from Sam's, put it in a bowl, and just put some cowabunga on there and just mix it in together. Got it into the hamburger press and then hit again with some cowabunga rub on top just to make sure it was nice and seasoned all the way. Turned out delicious. I just thought maybe a little bit too far to my liking, but for everybody else, their pie was perfect. I like mine,
them?
like mine just a little bit pink.
I agree. No, I agree. I like a little pink in mine. I'm not gonna lie, um, in there as well. But you with this group, you got to kind of burn everything. I think the hot dogs, I had to have them a little burnt, which was
Yep.
funny on the hot dogs. And we'll bring up, and you can't go wrong with hot. This group really only likes beef hot dogs. You got the bar S hot dogs. You didn't get no just beef, all beef pat. You basically got the hot dogs, like the cheap ones, everything. And the person that only likes the all beef ate about 3 or 4 of them things. They were burned a little bit, cooked right there next to the coals on the Weber kettle. Can't go wrong with it. It was great, fun on there. The food turned out good. Uh, Party was great. Eden had a blast. So definitely thanks to the barbecue world that did their wishing her a happy birthday as well.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I knew when we bought those hot dogs, they weren't. Not everybody was gonna like it, but once the package come off, nobody would have known. And you really can't taste the difference unless you were just that in tune with all of it.
A
Um,
hot
I
dog
mean,
snob or something.
yeah. Um, I couldn't tell you. Definitely the beef does taste a little bit better, but
It
a hot
does.
dog is a hot dog. You don't know exactly where it's coming from on each animal parts. It's all going to be the leftovers. So who cares? It's food. Eat it. It's free. So you shouldn't really be complaining. But, that's basically what I think that's all we've been cooking up.
That's really
Um,
it. It's been a
yeah.
slow cook. So this is not like we're trying to cook up things. It's just, it's been slow. People say, oh, we were talking about it. We did a family vacation or something weekend with Chelsea's thing. I'll tell you about it in a second. And one of the things like, what you been cooking lately? And he said, no, it's too cold. It ain't too cold. I'll go out there in the cold. I'll go out there in the heat. I was out there grilling briskets and stuff when it was hot as can be, steaks when it's hot as can be out there to the point where I was dang near cooking in the house because it was so hot. Then I thought about being smart and should have just moved it to the garage. It's got wheels on the Weber kettle, but stupid.
Yeah.
Um, I'll admit it. But yeah, it's nothing too cold. It's just we've been so busy with other things and this and that, and by the time you figure it out, it hasn't cooked in there. I did cook a couple days before that. We did do a brisket flat, which is basically the lean portion of from HEB that came out. I'm not a lean side of it. I like it with the wet, the fatty part of it. It came out real good though, very tender. Use those Franklin barbecues posto coals on there. Did the snake method. Let it cook pretty much all day as it was cooking in there. Got it to at least I think it was an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of rest time, which I am learning very fast that is like almost one of the key steps to a brisket is letting it rest. I took it off right about 201, and then I'm sure it still is gonna in a hot thing and a styrofoam thing, it's still gonna cook a little bit more. Came out great. Eden loved it. Again, that's my critic. If she's eating the crap out of the brisket, then it's good. So that
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to dive into my pictures to see what all I've cooked up lately.
part.
Um, I know I did do a pizza um, on the drum smoker. Just a little, I guess, DiGiorno pizza. So just frozen pizza, put it on the smoker, let it cook. But I did season the top of it with some cowabunga rub. If you have not tried that, give that a try. That it is delicious. And then I did go out and buy some new rubs from Gulf Coast Smoke. Their products are amazing if you have not tried it. Their Southern hospitality is great on some chicken. So I did make some grilled chicken on the stove using their Southern hospitality. So like chicken and rice, it'll come out really really good. And then cooked up some steaks the other day. Um, so season the steaks with three different rubs. Um, use the Gulf Coast smoked that base, some cowabunga rub, and then I topped one of them with some hooks, smoking sweetness rub on top of it. Come out really really good. Grilled it, and then cooked a baked potato in the oven. For someone's last day of work, if you don't follow us on Facebook, you may not know, but her mother decided she wanted to retire. So this past Thursday was her last day. So she's not working in the office. Had to do a little bit something for her. So cooked up some steak, potatoes. Went and got a little cheesecake, so she can have some kind of party. Uh, you know, just the two of us. So that is what I've been cooking up. So if you
He's
see
such a
her
sweet
to
brother,
uh,
sweet son.
retirement, yeah, someone got to do it. You weren't going to do it. Leslie not was going to do
I'm
it.
45. I'm 40 minutes away. The reason he did the party, and there's a backstory on it. He did a great job. I really tip my hat to him. He really went off. Is the place where we work, Ally Financial, is closed for renovations. So there is no party that she could have with her coworkers that she's been working with for years and years and years. So it kind of was, this is the only way to do it. Now I've heard there potentially could do something for them, for the ones that did retire once the offices is back fully open, but I don't know if you're going to get anybody to do that. But yeah, those steaks though you cooked looked awesome. I was
No, they were
jealous.
really really good.
They looked
Definitely try that.
beautiful. I was like, this dude right here, boy, I almost just drove over there just to steal yours.
Oh, you weren't getting mine. You weren't getting mine. Uh, but yeah, that is what I've been up to. Anything else you want to discuss before we dive into our first topic?
Nothing yet. I mean, I want to cook. I need to get some steaks going. I know I've been itching for some ribs on it, but I do have a question before we get into it. I have put your redemption rub on some stuff. Is that meant to be a little with a little bit of a punch, a little bit of kick to it?
Yeah, it's meant to be sweet and savory. Savory, kind of that kick of it, so it is going to give a little bit kick. Um, but it is good. It will mellow out, in my opinion, depending on how long you cook it. Um,
Gotcha.
so and how heavy you go with it. If you the heavier you go, the more heat you probably get. Um,
I thought I thought it was the side chick that had the heat, and I was
nope.
completely wrong. I used it on some eggs or something, to be honest with you, and I was like, "Oh, let's try it." And I put a pretty good thing. I was like, "Whoa, this got a little kick to it, a little spice to this thing going on." Definitely, it had its punch to it, but was pretty good. So there you go. Like I said, I love it when people try our stuff on other things, try different rubs on different things. Just because it's a beef rub or just because it's side chicken to go on chicken doesn't mean you can't put it on a steak or you can't put it on whatever. So that's what I've been using with it. But yeah, I used your side chick the other day on, I think, some flavoring of some chicken, and then cooked it on the skillet with some of the cherry bomb from Steal Your Shine sauce. You finish that on. It came out really good. So
Oh yeah, I believe it. I believe it. But let's dive into our first segment. Welcome to an all new episode of Damn, that's good. My bad. It's time to light the fires and crack open a cold one as we go inside the pit. I hit the wrong button. I hit technical error, my issue.
oh, party foul. Cut him off.
Anyway, this is
He's too
inside the pit. Kind of teased it on Dan, let's go with Big Things Barbecue's Facebook. But this one, we're going to dive into some competition talk. I've been getting some questions from people and seeing posts. Um, them doing the first cook off, and trying to see how it is. I've been helping a buddy out doing barbecue cook off, so we're going to kind of discuss a lot of things and kind of go from there. And then we'll see where this inside the pit takes us. But diving right into it, looking to do your first cook off, go for it. I always would tell people, hey, look for something close to you. Uh, I prefer to do something that has the sanctioned bodies, IBCA, CBA, Outlaw, whatever it is, KCBS, depending on where you are. Um, Go and do it. But I would always encourage someone to look at the rules and read through them, so you know exactly what you can have, what you can't have. If you can pre-trim the meat, if they're going to do meat inspection, stuff like that. Um, and my biggest thing is if it allows you to pre-trim everything, it saves you some time with the cook-off, saves you a lot of time with cleanup, all that kind of stuff. It makes a difference. Instead of getting there Friday and you're having to trim everything, now you got excess meat there. Especially with chicken, if we're going to have to, trim it there. If we're doing chicken thighs and you're going to scrape the skin, it's going to take a lot of time. Doing it beforehand, you don't have to worry about it. Um, and then, of course, don't be afraid to ask questions to that sanctioning body. Hey, what it is, what something, stuff that I need, stuff like that. You can ask me. You can ask my junior, any kind of competition cook. We're gonna tell you. Um, you know, so biggest thing like I said, find the rules, read the rules, stuff like that. If you're going to do one here in Texas, biggest thing is I will tell you when it comes to judging, they're going to use plastic knife and forks. You do have to cook everything a little bit over. So if you're used to that one bite ribs, you got to make it fall off the bone almost. That brisket, you're gonna want it to be kind of that chop uh, brisket style, but you want it still to be together, if that makes sense. Basically, you want when they go to cut it, the easier it is for them to chew it, the higher you can score. Uh, Stuff like that, you know. Um, and if you have any questions, Junior, just go ahead and ask.
No, you're giving some good tips here, for sure. I think the biggest thing when you look at a competition and you're there, um, get your team. You don't need a lot of people. Like he has a team. If you're gonna do the cooking and you want to worry, you're gonna focus on the cooking. Great. Randy focuses on what we do, and I told him, okay, I'm gonna stay out of your way when you're cooking because there's one thing you definitely don't need is you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yep.
And somebody that says, "Hey, I'm just gonna go make sure this gets turned in on time." Your clock watcher, your box turner, that's me. It's what I do, and so I just said because, and then like we do it on our last turn in, which is usually brisket at pretty much every competition. Um, that's when we'll go, "Hey, okay, let's do it together because then you're done. Then you can relax as far as the cook is concerned." So, um, definitely do that. And like Randy's saying it best, don't be afraid to ask those questions. Don't be afraid to ask others on top of that.
Yep.
Your people next to you. Hey, have you done this competition before? Yeah, I have. I grand championed it, or I've done this before. Okay, well, you got this is my first one ever. Um, the barbecue community is a great community. People love to compete against everybody. Now everybody wants to win, don't get us wrong, but they want to beat you at your best. So usually if you do that, you'll make some friends. They'll help you out any way you can. And you never know, they may come to you for help. So you want to develop that relationship, especially with the ones next to you from there. But what are your thoughts competition now, the competition we just had, the American Royal. What is your takeaway? What's your difference between that and, let's say, like a Lone Star one down here, or Champions Barbecue Alliance? What is your big differences as far as those competitions here, local, as opposed to the American Royal one, a KCBS, so to speak?
So KCBS is just the single round judging, uh, but everything has to be kind of what you normally would do. You know, the chicken skin has to stay on when they bite through it. They're actually taking a bite of a piece. So the brisket, you want it to bend but not break. You want it to hold up on itself, still pull apart real easy. Stuff we normally would cook. If we're cooking in the backyard. Ribs, you want your typical one bite. The meat stays on the bone. You get a clean bite. No tugging, stuff like that. As opposed to here in Texas, like I said, it's all plastic knife and fork. They're not picking anything up, so you have to kind of overcook everything. Um, which is nothing's wrong with either one of them. I always personally like doing um, CBA just because it's a single round judging, and then you're able to see your scores and how they match up with everybody else. Versus you doing like a Lone Star, it's if you don't make final table, you don't know where you finish. You can finish dead last. You can finish like right on the cusp of it. Outlaws the same way. You can go multiple rounds. And if you're doing multiple round ones, the meat has to taste good, um, hot, warm, and cold. So what I mean by that, if you're going to, like the Royal, for instance, you're going to, up against 400 teams or 200 teams or however many teams, and you're having to go 3 rounds. That meat could sit there for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. You don't know how long that meat's sitting there. And if you're going those multiple rounds, if your meat tastes horrible cold, then you don't stand a chance in the next round. So you got to kind of get that recipe down to where it's good, hot, warm, and cold. Versus doing KCBS, CBA, where it's just single round judging. You just needs to be hot and warm. That's it. Um, you know, you only have to cook so many pieces.
Correct.
So that's where knowing the rules kind of helps you. Timeline, writing down how long it's going to take you to cook a meat, knowing that kind of information, it's going to take me 8 hours to cook the brisket. So I need to start it here. I want this much rest. Giving yourself some wiggle room, to kind of adjust because something is going to happen your first cook off. The brisket could stall out longer, it could be done quicker. Stuff like that happens very often. So write down how long it's going to take you roughly, what all rubs you need, the injections, everything, how much you're using. So that way, the next cook off, what you got to use. Because we've talked about on previous episodes where someone made, second place beans and didn't run anything. There's just threw stuff in there and now they don't remember what they used. So now you're trying to see where you can, get back to that.
Correct.
Versus if
Correct.
you write down everything, you don't have to worry about it. You can just look back. Okay, this is what we use this day. That's it. So you have to kind of write everything down. Keep good notes. Ask questions. Kind of watch. You can definitely. There's a lot of different rubs, sauces, injections you can use. You just got to find what you and your family like first, and then go from there. So that's it.
So I heard practice, practice, practice. Definitely.
Yeah.
And you ask anybody that does them, you can ask anybody that's ever, they do practice runs all the time. They invite the neighbors over, they invite family over, they invite whatever. We did it for the American Royal. We said, hey, I invited a bunch of people. We need honest opinions. If you don't like it, it's trash. It's trash. Now, we didn't use the same style of brisket that we were going to use. So we knew that the brisket flavor was only going to enhance. We knew that the rib flavor, and we got good feedback on them. So definitely want to test out your recipes and test out your thing. Do you have any don't do's at a competition? Like, don't do this. You wouldn't recommend it, maybe.
Uh, None that I can think of. Besides, don't go to a cook off without cleaning your pits. Make sure everything's clean beforehand. Um, we say it jokingly, but we've gone to a cook off and someone rolled out, their big old smoker, and they've had to clean it because they had all grease and everything in there. Make sure it's clean beforehand, so you don't have to worry about it. Um, and then basically make a checklist of hey, this is what everything I need, so what you need. Because we have forgotten, brown sugar, for instance. Been at a cook off with the Walmart, 2 minutes down the road. You're like, oh man, we don't have any brown sugar, and we kind of forget that the Walmart's there until we drive by it. Definitely write down everything, what you need.
Yes.
From charcoal, wood, whatever you're using. Um, you know, when you go to these cook-offs, you're going to see people, using drum smokers, pellet smokers, offsets, these big-time competition rigs. Uh, don't get flustered. Just go out there and cook, because at the end of the day, you're just cooking. But it is getting you out of your element. Now, certainly, if you ask me what cooker you should get, I'm going to tell you to get some drum smokers. You can get some Super 55 drum smokers. We are going to be partnering with them this year.
Cha-ching.
So definitely we'll have a link down below to where you can go and check them out. You can order you one, save some money. I think it's like 10%. You can save that. You can have it built, or you can build it yourself, paint it yourself. Um, so definitely gives you that opportunity to build your own drum smoker right away, or like I said, you can build it for you, whichever one you prefer. But certainly, if you want to roll an offset, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. We've done it. Just get that. Just get some amazing barbecue flavor out of there for a cook-off. You just have to manage it a lot more, which turns means you don't get to drink as much, you don't get to party as much because you're gonna have to man the fire. But if you have multiple people there, hey, go for it. Uh, but yeah, any
That's
other
it right there.
questions?
That's it to know your personal limitations, know what you can do. Know, hey, I need to go to sleep. We've seen too many cook-offs where they'll stay up till one or two partying with people there, and we're like, they're running, an offset smoker. Those things got to start. They hadn't even started their fire, or they've started their fire, they've let it die out, whatever. So know your pit limitations. Know what you need to do. You ask me, I'll tell you Randy's in bed super early. I'll stay up a
Yep.
little later because I don't have to wake up later. I can go do the little partying. So know your limitations. It's going to get you your best foot forward. But yeah, he's right. Definitely don't buy a pit and then go say, let's take this to the cookout. Make sure it's seasoned. Make sure it's good to go. And you will be fine. But and most importantly, just have fun. Remember, you're doing it for the love competition. I've seen people that, all right, I'll do my first one, and they go out there and win grand champion because you're
Yep.
not overthinking it. You're not doing things like that. So go out there, have fun, enjoy what you're doing. Don't get too upset with things because the judging is, it's all based on you're not competing against the other cooks. It's you versus 6 judges or 8 judges, a couple different tables. So that's what you're competing against. Do put your best box. Like I said, we perform like we wanted to at some competitions? No, but at the end of the day, we were happy with what we turned in, and that's all we can ask for, and
Yep.
we're okay with. So
Yeah, and of course, some people will tell you, "Hey, go look to see who the judges are." If it's younger folks, and then you may can go a little hotter, and you may can go a little bit sweeter. I don't look into that because everyone's different. We've come across some where they're like, oh well, they like it real spicy here, and then someone turns in something like, oh, I hope they like it real sweet, and then they get a top three in that category. So just at the end of the day, it's just um, who has the better barbecue. That's all you got to remember. Just you got to turn in the best barbecue you can. If you're happy, that's it. Um, you know, just make those memories with your family. Another thing is, because I've seen it and heard some stories about it. If you're going to get into competition with a whole group of buddies and this and that, make sure you set the expectations of who's going to do what and all of that. So that way y'all know ahead of time and there's not no bickering. Oh well, I've got chicken, so don't come over here and mess with the chicken. But you have an idea on it, or so and so is supposed to do chicken, but now so and so is taking over, stuff like that. If we're gonna go into something like that, where more people are gonna be, you know, involved,
Know
make
your
sure
role.
everybody says, agrees on what their job is. Certainly,
Correct.
especially because of family. Um, you know, someone's got to know that he's a turn-in box guy. When I tell him turn in this box,
I'm the clock watcher. This dude likes to take his time. While I ain't got to walk 45 minutes to the turn in place
yeah,
when
New
I
Year's
got to do
never had to walk
it.
45 minutes.
Everything was far. No, he's right. Know which role's going to do what. Know what drums are going on which one, so that way you can help out. I try to know. Okay, he's putting the chicken on here, or the briskets on here. What do I need to keep an eye on? I think that's one of the first things I've done is I say, okay, what do you need help with? I'm good right now, but if you walk by and this thing's at 160, let's say the brisket, let me know so I can take it off or
Yeah,
whatever the situation is, because sometimes he is preparing other things and he doesn't want to. You don't want to drop the ball. You're there to help out each other, not to argue and fight with each other. So, because we have seen it at competitions before. So, and like I said, get it in the box, get it turned in. That's the key, because you never know what can happen. You never know what the judges are, and yeah, I've heard people say that. Oh, we got a bunch of young people, make it spicy. I don't really like spicy.
yep.
Then you look at
We're
ones
not
that
young.
we're not young, but you look at other ones that are young, they may not like it spicy. Then you
Yep.
look at it's older people. Well, you look at like people like Larry and stuff like that. You can't make it hot enough for them. So I don't think you judge it on that. Judge it to what you like it, because remember, you're only turning in so much of what it is. The rest you pretty much take home. So don't make it for the judges. I think you make it for you. Make something you're proud of, and you will be okay. And good luck to y'all, because them competitions will be coming around quick.
Yep. They are coming around quick. Just like something else, which is up next week, which is Thanksgiving. Let us know what you're cooking up for Thanksgiving. Of course, we all know this is going to be the same as usual: turkeys, hams, all those delicious sides, all that kind of stuff. Let us know. So we're going to dive right into the question: what are you looking forward to Thanksgiving meal wise? And what are you preparing? You preparing anything for either party?
I
I'm
don't
gonna go ahead and
prepare
answer your
nothing.
question for you. I don't prepare nothing. I'm not getting nothing.
I don't prepare shit. I don't do shit. I'll prepare whatever you need me to prepare. I was meaning to ask. Was going to ask mom about it this weekend. Matter of fact, um, so of what we needed to do. Me, honestly, I like me a smoked and a fried turkey. I like me two different kinds of turkey. I can't eat that much turkey, but that's what I'm looking forward to, is at least that fried turkey with the skin on it. A good smoked turkey you can't go away with. I'm looking forward to it all, to be honest with you. I don't know what all preparing. I don't know what we're having to bring for the other one, because I don't know what they do. I don't know what they're going to bring. They're doing it buffet style. So, and they'll eat long before we get there. So we'll be there for around dinner time, probably leave about halfway through the Cowboy game, like always, head that way and go
Yep.
from there. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that fried turkey. Whoever's cooking that fried turkey up, let me go ahead and ask him. Hey, you cooking that fried turkey? Yes, I am cooking that fried turkey, bud. Uh,
You know damn well you cooking it. Why you playing stupid?
yeah, yeah. So you're cooking up a fried turkey. Was not trying to really take any orders this year because I do have to work Wednesday, but did have some orders come in. Troy from one of our other podcast brothers, Chris Bustos. Um, you know, he hit me up, so he's getting a ham. So we're smoking a ham probably early in the morning, along with frying a couple turkeys for someone else. So I do got to drop off some orders before I come back and fry ours up. I don't know what else we're having. I know we're probably gonna have that green bean casserole, probably some mashed potatoes. Um, I'm not sure after that. Who knows? I know someone's bringing a ham. Um,
I'm gonna bring my
I don't
pumpkin pie because I'm tired of somebody. Mom thinks she looks at it, said, "Look, it's a pumpkin pie." And she doesn't see the word "sweet potato pie" on it.
know. You want to go there? Okay, let's go there. She did do that one time by mistake, and that was a hell of a mistake because it did look alike. They did look alike.
Potato and
But someone,
pumpkin are not spelled the same.
the packages look the same.
They did look the
Okay,
same. I thought, oh, it was, and when I read it, I said, "This is a sweet potato pie." But anyways,
but let's also talk about how a certain someone who lives in your household bought a frozen pumpkin pie. She put it in the in the oven with the plastic wrap still on the top. And we were like, is it supposed to be burnt? So we started cutting and we realized it was plastic. Oh my goodness, Chelsea.
no, we're not doing
How
that.
you
We're
miss
gonna
the
get a
directions?
pre-made
Pre-made
pumpkin
pumpkin pie.
pie. It's simple, a little one, because this is what God rest his soul. Dad would bring one, and he go, "Look, I got this pumpkin pies for y'all." And he go to Sam's, and Sam's made the big old gigantic, you know, New York style pizza pies that it better make. We don't need something like that because the only ones that eat it is me, you, maybe
That's it.
Mason might eat one, and that's it. I don't need a lot. And matter of fact, if you want a slice, I'll give you some slices, and then I'll take the rest with me
Yep. Uh,
because this give me a pumpkin pie, some Cool Whip. I'm good to go.
yep. The full show. No, I do appreciate Chelsea's family, her mother, asking us if we wanted to go over there. But we ain't going over there. Let's be honest. I'm gonna sit right there on that recliner and watch the Dallas Cowboys uh, all game. You better believe it, all game.
You, you know,
Definitely.
you're right. It was a very sweet gesture.
Yeah,
I
we ain't
told
changing the
Chelsea
holidays.
they're not going over there, but it was sweet and nice. First year, everybody's checking in on us, making sure we're doing okay and uh on it. But yeah, it is gonna be a little, it's a little different. Everything's gonna be a little different this first year, for sure. But yeah, you know, we'll keep the same routine on it. It's just it is what it is.
It
I'm ready to
is.
eat. It's coming what it is. But you never know. So,
Let's dive
Thanksgiving.
into our last segment because we're going to start diving into what we're going to get into. So we'll dive
Uh
into
oh. Uh oh. New segment. Maybe.
and let's go around the pit and we talk about everything like we normally would if we're at a cook-off or in the backyard. Now, this in around the pit, we're gonna do it differently. This is where one of the segments we're changing up, throwing a curveball at you. We're still gonna talk about sports, all that kind of stuff, but we're gonna tie it into cooking. And since we're on the subject of holidays, Thanksgiving in particular, uh, which game are you looking forward to, non-cowboy wise? First question. You looking forward to?
Minus
You got minus
non
the Dallas Cowboy game.
Cowboys.
Uh,
One.
I'm trying to pull up who it is. So, 'cause I know Detroit plays. Um,
I'm looking forward to two. I'm going to be honest with you. They're both, none of them are in the NFL. One is, I think, the day after Thanksgiving, the 25th. And that is Florida State versus Florida. Chance to finish the regular season, hopefully undefeated. Hopefully, they can take care of South Alabama this weekend. Finish the regular season off undefeated with a shot, still keeping a shot to get into the playoff. But the other one is, do you know what game it is? Them Longhorns versus them Red Raiders, and that's always circle booked on my calendar along with the Oklahoma game on there. We gonna have to do. This is a perfect day. The Texas Tech game is that night, ain't it?
No, theirs is at 11:30.
On
They play
Saturday,
that.
on
Yep,
Friday.
Friday they play early.
Okay.
Um, and if I remember correctly,
Might be a good time to come
uh,
over and eat some leftovers, because that's the next good thing about Thanksgiving is the
yeah,
leftovers.
wasn't it? And I know because my mind is gone. But wasn't it always Detroit versus Green Bay, Dallas versus whoever, and then you had the late game, but it was always Texas versus Texas A&M. Now I know they're gone, but wasn't that who for the
It
longest
wasn't
time who it
Detroit
was?
versus Green Bay. It was always Detroit versus somebody.
But
But usually it was
normally you
like
always see
Detroit versus
Detroit,
the Bears, or
yeah, or
Detroit
Green Bay
versus
and stuff.
whoever with the Green Bay. Basically, almost somebody within their division is what I can remember. I mean, I'm sure a few times here and there, but it was always one division matchup. So if Detroit was playing Green Bay, then Dallas was playing somebody non-division.
Yep.
Is what it were. And then yeah, usually the late game, as far as I can remember, up until it ended, was always Texas A&M, the big
Yeah.
rivalry
That's
from
what
it.
they need to bring back is they need I think they should partner with college and have, a game on Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. um, Allow that because some of these games on Thanksgiving, especially the late games, nobody's really gonna watch them. Um, but that's the one thing I do miss is that Texas game being on Thursday instead of on Friday. But I certainly it's great to go do your holiday shopping on Black Fridays and then come back and watch some college football. Uh, you know,
That's another thing. I'm glad they're going back to is actually have the sales on Friday. That's the one good thing COVID did was it
yep,
ended this. We're going to start it earlier and earlier. Before you know it, Thanksgiving was just going to be another work day where you weren't even going to have it off. So, and certainly there's people that do have to work and, businesses, non-medical field, emergency field people that do have to work because they call for their businesses to be open. So, um, and then especially those, the firefighters, the cops, the policemen, and the doctors, and then hospitals that will be there on standby, hopefully on there. So, and then you mentioned it. We always mention it for our Thanksgiving one. If you're frying a turkey, please be careful. Measure that out with
yep.
water. Put it in with water so you know exactly how much to fill. I've seen TikTok videos after TikTok videos of this stressing it. We're stressing it. Take a few moments to put it in there. Make sure it's fully thawed. I have seen people do that now. This is a round that we could have done this inside the pit, but since it's really not inside the pit, it's in a fryer. How do you do your fried turkeys? It's been a while since we talked about it. How do you brine it, or you just inject it and let's rock and roll? I know you brine it when it's coming to a smoker, but when it's coming to a fried turkey, I know you measure it out. You take your time, and then do you come back after you know where to fill it up and say, "Now let me inject it. Now let me season it." What do you do?
You can. So what I do is, before I brine it, because I do brine it no matter what. I think it does impart some more flavor in there. So I'll take one out, whichever one's the biggest, uh, and measure it. With everything that's going to go in there, so that way where the water is going to need to, where the oil is going to need to be, and then just kind of mark it. Um, or you can go ahead and put the oil in there and then just cover it, so that way you don't have to do it the next day, which is what I'll probably do since I do have to work. But then I'll brine it, and you can brine it for overnight. So probably what I'll do is when I come home that night before, as I always go ahead and brine everything, and then just leave it there until I come back, and then take it out, and then get up early in the morning, go ahead and do it. Now, if you want to inject, you just got to do the same thing, measure it, and then go ahead and inject it, and then you can put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for however many hours. I recommend probably at least 6 hours, just so that injection can go all the way through the meat, distribute evenly, and then brine it, and then fry it. And you just want to get it up closer to temperature. So if you're shooting for 165, get it. I always kind of shoot it about 163, just because I know it's going to go a little bit past once it comes out. Um, some people say you can go a little bit lower. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can. It's totally up to you, however you want to cook it. But I do like to get it a little bit under, just so that way it distributes everything. You don't have to worry about it. But you definitely you can Google the guide of how long that's going to take and all that kind of stuff, and set you a timer on your phone. And once it gets in the last 5 minutes, you just start checking it, and seeing it, because you don't want to if it tells you 45 minutes, you pull it up, but you didn't have the oil hot enough, and you thought you did, and you go to cut it, and now it's it's still undercooked, it's still pink. You don't want that, so you do want to kind of check it to make sure you're getting to the temperature you want, and that the temperature of the oil is where it needs to be. Uh, so that way you can enjoy your Thanksgiving, have a good Thanksgiving meal, nobody's sick, and all that kind of stuff. So definitely take your time, make sure everything's thought out. Most importantly, and take the steps. And if you're unsure, just ask questions. Plenty of people will definitely be there to answer those questions for you. What
That's
else?
it. That is it. Definitely be safe. Again, be safe. Have that fun. Definitely watch it. I think that's one of the biggest things I've seen with the accidents is they leave. They don't watch it. They don't. They put it in and then they walk away from it. That's the time to sit out there. Put your chair if it's cold, which it has the ability to be cold. At least here in Texas, I know it's colder up north and other places. Put your chair near the fire. You got a heat source right there, so you'll be warm as you're watching it. And definitely, like I said, just keep a good eye out on it. Better to be safe than sorry. You don't want your house or your canopy or wherever you're cooking it. Definitely be
It got
uh,
fired up.
safe doing it because there's too many times that's the number one cause of fires on Thanksgiving is people trying to fry it for the first time and they don't do it right. Take your time, drop it in slow, measure it out, and you'll be okay.
For sure. Anything else you want to talk about before we go ahead and sign off on episode 67?
I've got nothing. Like I said, I'm excited. New year, new competitions, hopefully rolling in. We'll see about all these things. And again, you want to join the podcast, you want to come talk with us about your Thanksgiving, what you cooked up, let us know because that's one thing we want to have coming up is more guests to join us on all our segments.
For sure, I will let him sign off first on my small business shout out again. Papa Joe's Barbecue Pro Shop in Red Oak, Texas. Again, their grand opening is Saturday, November 18th. So if you're in Red Oak or coming through, be sure to stop in, check them out, pick you up something new to try. Uh, Perfect time to go ahead and mark off that, you know, Christmas to-do list to buy for that pit master of cooking your family. You can get them some new rubs, some new sauces, injections. You can get ready for next year's competitions. Or maybe you're still cooking this year. Whatever it is, stop in at Papa Joe's in Red Oak. That is 2520 Olivia Road, Unit 100 in Red Oak, Texas. If you have not tried our stuff, be sure to check it out, BigSalinasBarbecue.com. As always, follow us on all our social media sites: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Again, check out all the links down below. Follow it, like it, share it, all that kind of stuff. Uh, give our stuff a try because you never know. You just may get hooked on big taste, big flavor, big Salinas. And of course, before I turn it over to him, happy birthday to Mrs. Mags. So, Johnny Mags, and be sure you tell her the boys over here say happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday. I ain't gonna sing. That's what you're gonna get my
Please
singing.
don't sing. You're going to ruin her birthday for her.
We're ruining the birthday. It'll be late by the time you get to bed. It's all good. For sure. Definitely, like I said, have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe out there cooking whatever you're gonna cooking for your family. Enjoy the time you have with your family. Because you never know. It just might be the last time. That's all I can say because that's my thoughts of how I'm feeling this Thanksgiving and every other holiday right now this year. Others know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's all good. Try our stuff. Try it twice. If you're trying any of our other stuff or any of the people that we love to support, Blazing Star, Uncle Steve's, Hooks, Shine, Steal Your Shine Sauce, whatever. Don't just try it once. Try it twice. You'll love it. Especially our stuff. It goes well with other things. Don't be afraid to share us those pictures. Find us anywhere you get your social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Uh, we're there. YouTube, definitely, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe and like button. Again, share this post out. Help us out. Help us build this channel, build our following. That would be help us a lot. If you need our stuff near a store near you, let us know. Let us do the legwork. Just point us in the right direction, and we got you. But again, have a happy Thanksgiving week coming up. Do anything you're doing when you're cooking this weekend or you're cooking for Thanksgiving or any other day. Do it with love, do it with passion, and Big Salinas Barbecue will see you down the road.